Hi, this is Bruce with Hunsaker Home Hacks. Please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for future notifications. Share me with a friend. Alright, we're talking about pools today. This is a Summer's Wave pool. About a year ago or so, I did a video on improving the draw from the pool. I put a second pump through the drain hole and then returned it back into the pool through the skimmer, which is right there at the top of the pool. You can kind of see it over there. But this year I wanted to get a little bit more into the pool and make it work even better. So I did some searching around and I found a new pump and I found a pool cleaner. And then we also put this up more permanently by doing a few different things. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show you what I did and we'll talk about it, because I have a lot of granite in my yard and I have a piece of grass and I didn't want to put the pool on the grass. So what I did is I moved sand into my backyard and then put my pool on it. Plus I put a new pump in it, and again a pool robot. I love robots. They do such a wonderful job. Alright, as you can see here, the pool is sitting there, and around the base right here is sand coming up around the base of the pool. It is sitting on 1,800 pounds of sand, and then there's sand going around the edge of the pool, which keeps the pool nice and snug in its area. Now let's take a look over at the pump. So we're going to walk over this way. Oh, the umbrella is my wife's idea, because we have houses behind us. She wanted to be able to block off the view from the houses, so that's what we did. We blocked off the view. With the Summer Wave, it came with the original skimmer, which is right here. And this is where I drilled into it last year to put the return line for the pool. But this year I took it a step further. And right there is my Intex 2,500 gallon pool pump. It's a type B cartridge. It basically will do 2,500 gallons an hour, and this pool is only about 1,800 gallons. So it's got a much larger pipe on it, and it has a couple different unique features. This is your outlet, and that's your inlet right over there. Right there is your inlet, right there. So into the pump, out to the pool. Into the pump, out to the pool. Alright, so now these holes weren't originally there. So what I did to create those holes is I cut holes in my pool. But you have to reinforce it. And let me show you what I reinforced it with. What I bought was some vinyl HDX vinyl pool patch right there. Using this ring here, I cut a hole. I drew a pattern on it with the ring, and then I cut the hole the size of the pool, and then I used the same ring to create a patch that goes around the hole, just to reinforce the pool. So when it's turning on, the HC patch gives it the little extra ump. If you look at some of the areas where they did it, they used vinyl to reinforce the pool. You can see it right here. This is a vinyl patch that they did to reinforce the pool. So I just followed suit and made my own vinyl patch to reinforce the pool. Now by putting this 2,500 gallon pump on it, I was able to put a pool cleaner in. Now that's the Intex Pool Cleaner. It's not a vacuum, it's a sweeper. It goes around the bottom and it sweeps up the debris on the bottom and causes it to go into the filtration system. By going into the filtration system, then it's able to keep the pool way cleaner. And that's pretty cool. There's a filter catch, a screen catch inside of the robot pool cleaner. That also catches additional debris coming out of the filter and some of the vacuuming that it does when it sucks and blows through the system itself. So the pool will stay way cleaner this year than it's going to do last year. Alright, so looking at the bottom of the pool, laying the sand down, we moved a lot of sand, me and my son. The one thing I wish I would have done better when laying the sand down was packing it down firmer under the pool. It's definitely going to be packed down now, but I would have been flatter and firmer when I laid it down if I would have packed it first, but I didn't have the tools to do so. But as you can see, the little pool guy, he goes around pretty well, and he moves around picking up the debris and sucking small particles through his screen, and that's cool. So, overall cost to put the additional larger pump on the pool, overall cost me about $100, and I paid about $70 for the pump itself and another $70 for the pool sweeper. I looked really hard for that, and I was able to find it for about $140, $159 by the time I got done. Now, the only problem was when I bought the pool, it didn't come with this feature, the inlet to the pump. So I had to search really hard and wide for an inlet. And there's a kit on Walmart that has an inlet, and then it has that other part right. So it has an inlet, and then this part here, and a few other parts. And it costs $44 to have that shipped. So add that, I spent about an additional $200 to add the bigger pump. Now, I run my pump about 4 hours a day, which means it makes about 4.25 cycles through that water, causing that little pump guy to run about 4 hours in general, sweeping the bottom of the pool. And then this runs pretty much, because it's not a great pump, it runs pretty much 8 to 10 hours a day to skim the top of the pool. Now let's show you the difference in the sizes of the filter that we're using. So one moment here, let's go over this way. Alright, so you'll need this once you cut the holes to make a circle, a ring, to patch up the hole so it makes it reinforced and stronger when it's holding the pieces. And this is the outlet face that is originally on it, so that's the outlet face right there for when the water returns into the pool. But if you add the little robot guy, it will give you a new one to cover this up so you can attach the hose to it, and then that will. This came with the kit too. It's a much smaller diameter and not very useful, but maybe for something else I can use it. Alright, we're here about the filters. So this is the Type D filter. You can see there's 2 of them in this package. They cost about $10 and they go into the skimmer. They do their job. They filter out everything, so it's not the problem, but the size, that's the problem. For that little pool there, which is about 1,800 gallons, you're constantly changing these filters out, or I am, for where I live. I live in Arizona, so it's pretty dusty. Cleaning them about 3 times a week under normal operation. But by putting the new pump on there, which is way bigger, and it's going to take a lot longer for it to filter this guy. Where I can filter the entire pool with the new pump in an hour, it would take roughly 4 hours with this filter and that original pump to do the same job. So here's the difference in size. These are the Type B filters right here. This is 1 filter compared to 2. So you can see there's a major difference here on how much it's going to be able to filter and how much it's pulling. When it's pulling, you can see the difference in the return. Now I'll take the return off on the little robot dude so you can see how much pressure it's actually produced. So let's go over and take a look at the return valve, or the return into the pool. So this is a way better filter than this, and now I'm running 2 filters on it, and that's awesome. This one does its job skimming the top of the pool this one does the job, actually filtering the entire pool water about 4 times a day. That's awesome. So here's my rubber ducky. It was $10. It's a small pool. Don't need a lot of chlorine. Only reason why I got the blue one floating around is it has a thermometer in it. Alright, so here's the replacement. So when you put in the pool guy, the little pool robot, it comes with this piece right here and this hose. And then it attaches to the little sweeper itself. So when you're looking at the sweeper itself, it works the operation is pretty simple. Oh, he's going to get away from me. Alright, so there he is, and it basically, water pushes out of those little snorkels in the front and the back, and it moves it around. But if I take this off, that's my water flow from the new pump. You can see the water flow from the old pump. You can see this one is dramatically different than the other one. It's actually a force to be reckoned with. It's moving a lot of water back into the pool, and that's freaking cool. So, and then this piece right here, all it really does is like a cutoff. So you can actually adjust how big the flow is going back into the pool by turning that in a particular, turning that either to the closed position or off position. You wouldn't want to do that very much. I'd like to get a second one for the inlet into the pump so I can turn the water off while I'm changing the filter. Alright, so now we're back. And you can see where it pushes the water out. And we can see our little pool guy about ready to take off. So there it is doing his job. And that's awesome. Alright, so there we are. We're putting water into the pool for the rest of the day. The pool's pretty comfortable. In Arizona, we need a pool because it's hotter than frickin' hell out here. Alright, so now you got to see what I did to my pool. That's cool. And I'll put the links below for the things I found. As I said, the simple process of adding the holes wasn't that bad. Once you have the pool set up and you have everything, no water in the pool, or just a low level of water. I had like a foot of water in the pool to stretch it out a little bit before I cut the holes, before I drew the holes. So I drew the holes on it and put about a foot of water in it, maybe a foot and a half. And then I drew the holes, and then I took an X-Acto knife after that and I cut the hole out, and then I put the patch on it, and then I squeezed on the part to adhere that patch as tight as possible to both the holes. Finding all the components was a little bit more difficult because Intex, for some reason, all the components seem to be at, you have to really search for them. It sucks. For the returns and everything, and I probably could have made mine own out of PVC, but I decided that I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be more, because I wanted that proper pressure. Also, the kit I bought really wasn't designed. Oh, that's the one thing. There is basically I'm using 2 outlets. There's a little stogie guy on the top of the outlet. I'll put a picture up here of what I'm talking about. That lets a little bit of air out so it can the water can flow a little bit. But I didn't want on the pulling the water into the pump, on the inlet on the pump, it wasn't necessary. So what I did is I cut a piece of cork and I stuck it in the hole, and then I put that little inlet guy on there and I sealed it off forever with that piece of cork. And so now the outlet is now an inlet drawing into the pool. And then you have a little mesh screen that you put on the front, and that's cool. But when they sell you it, it looks like they have both pieces in there. And for some frickin' reason, they don't send you the inlet. They only send you the outlet with a turnoff. That's kind of dumb. But, you know, for $44 and for the effect that it overall gives me by adding the new pump, it's worth the money. But I'm going to say, Intex, you suck in that manner. You should have given me both parts like the picture showed. The seller was non-responsive, so don't expect anything from the seller if you try to complain that it wasn't like the picture, because they don't respond. Alright, this is Bruce with Hunsaker Home Hacks. Please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for future notifications, share me with a friend, and I will see you soon. So what I did is I moved 1,800 tons? No, pool guy, pool robot. I moved 1,800 tons of... Don't drop the camera in the pool, don't drop the camera in the pool. So here's my rubber ducky.